everybody. Come on in. This is the Daily Bern. We're going to start here in just a second. I give you just a little bit of time to get in, like and share, and then we'll get going. But thanks for coming. And if you're here, please say hello. Hey, Jack. How you going, man? Feel the burn. Feel the burn. That's right. That's what we do here. This show is all about the burn. We are feeling the burn on this show, so come on in. This is the war room of the political revolution. We gather here every day at 7 and we talk about this fight that we're in. But we talk like winners. We own this situation. We know that we're going to win. So like and share, invite your friends, get everybody in here. This is a powerful motivational message for the political revolution, made by the political revolution for the political revolution. So come on in, and like I said, like and share and say hi. Let me know you're here. Interaction in the show helps us do better in the algorithm and get out to more viewers. So take part in the show. Hey Ginger, Carol, how you guys doing? Good to see you. I've got a burn planned. We're going to talk about some stuff. Going to get into events, bring back a little bit of the news, and we got a lot planned for the show today. So thanks for coming. Come on in. And I think I've given enough time for people to arrive and like and share and stuff like that. Remember to hit that like button. Smash that like button. That helps us do better. That's a great way to help out the show and to spread the message. Because we got to trick that algorithm into getting this out there. But welcome back to the Daily Bern. Like I said, this is the war room of the political revolution. We gather here every day at 7 and we talk about this fight that we're in. And this is a fight. You know, I've been asked to shy away from that fact and downplay it. But this is full-blown class warfare. And what we're doing right now is rising up united to stop that. And we have real enemies in this fight. The entire mainstream media and even the entire Democratic establishment, as well as the oligarchs that hold the receipts on all of our heads. You know, quite frankly, how each and every American of voting age does not support this beautiful revolution is beyond me. It is clear, crystal clear, that every center of power and control that lords over us all is set out to stop one man who has created and leads a movement of millions of dedicated warriors. And we are warriors. We are in a fight. We are warriors. And he has led us to fight for justice and compassion in this greed-based society. Empowered us. And everyone who is tired of the greed of a few keeping the many held down, everyone who is sick of reading stories about people dying because they couldn't afford their medications or seek proper treatment, and everyone who is sick of endless war should join this movement. What we're doing here is so much bigger than just Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie, don't get me wrong, but Bernie is just one man. What makes Bernie so special is that he has empowered the people. And that's also what makes Bernie so dangerous to the powers that be. His power comes from us. And he will win because of us. And that is the truth. That is not me being optimistic. Trust me, I am the least optimistic person that you're ever likely to meet. That is me being realistic. I am not lying to you. And Bernie isn't lying to you. We can make these changes happen. And we can bring these great ideas into reality as long as we stand united and keep moving forward. On our current pace, we have the momentum and excitement needed to accomplish this. Right now, We can only beat ourselves at this point. If we back down, if we give up. But we're not going to do that. And they can see what is happening here. The writing is on the wall, and Chris Matthews is losing his damn mind because they all see it. It's not working. Everything they try to do to stop us makes us stronger. We are winning, and we will win. Now, they will try everything to stop us, but they can only stop us by getting us to quit. They got to get us to lay down. They got us to get us to sit down, to shut up, to be quiet, to tolerate. But we're not going to. We keep moving forward and pushing as hard as we can, and nothing, no rigging, no cheating, no backroom deals even, can stop us. This is the power that they try to hide from us, the power of the people. They try to convince us that we're weak, that we need them. And then they use their media propaganda machine to sell that lie and then act like they are acting in our best interest. They have proven themselves to be enemies of the state. They need to be taken down and replaced with people who actually do have our best interest at heart. That is going to take us doing a shitload of work. Damn it. 2 in a row. Didn't mean to cuss. We are going to have to do a ton of work. But we all understand that. Those that gather here every day and those that are fighting in this revolution understand that this is going to take a massive amount of work. That is the only way that this can ever happen. And we're willing to put that work in. And millions of us are putting that work in every day. And if there is anything that you think you might be able to do to help move this revolution forward, please join us. Go to BernieSanders.com. See if there's any way that you can volunteer and help out the campaign. Or donate any amount. Any amount. Don't think anything is too small. Nothing is insignificant and everything is important. Even $1 matters. So donate. Get yourself some swag while you're there. Get you one of these. This bumper sticker. Put this bad boy or any of the other bumper stickers that they have on the site. They have some really cool ones. I have my favorite, and I love this bumper sticker. It's the round one, and it's the FDR style one. But get you one of these and put this on your car, and that is going to generate tons of excitement. That's going to create conversations. That's going to inspire people. Hey, Dale. Good to see you. Net says the volume's not loud enough on my end. Is anyone else experiencing problems with volume? There are some kinks we've been working out, but hopefully we're not having a problem with volume. And because I'm maxed out on my end. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that if there is a problem. But if we're doing okay, we'll continue through because I want to show you guys some, hey Nissa, I want to show you guys some Bernie events that are coming up, and I want to get into some Know Your Enemy. Know Your Enemy is a segment that we used to do on the show that I want to bring back and do every once in a while. And there's a couple important hit pieces out there that I want to go into that I think we need to talk about. And then I want to show you the Bern notice and look at some stories from that here in a second. But Dale says the volume seems fine. Ginger says volume's fine. Okay. All right, so we're good. Carol says I canvassed for Bernie on Saturday. Thank you, Carol. Now that is exactly what we need, is people willing to put themselves out there. And we have millions of volunteers like Carol that are doing all they can. That's what's making this happen. That's the reason that it's going to happen. We are doing the work. That's what's making this happen. That's what's so beautiful about it. It's very inspiring what's going on. I had to do something to be a part of it. So this was my contribution. This was my idea. I thought we needed a place to gather where we could draw inspiration from each other and inspire each other in this fight, because it is a fight. Like I said in the beginning of the burn, I've been asked to shy away from that multiple times. I've had people privately ask me, "Hey, you should stop with that. You know that this is a fight." No, it is, and this is a 100% commitment as well, all the way through. We see this all the way through to the end, and the end is victory. That is the end. And victory is accomplishing these things, getting health care as a human right, guaranteed to every citizen. And you're damn right, Nissa, Hippie Lives Matter. Find her on Twitter. We're going to guarantee health care to every citizen as a human right. That's what we're going to do. That's when we'll be done. When people have a living wage. How do you have capitalism? How do you have a capitalist society when people do not make a living wage? How is that even sustainable or realistic? How can you keep moving forward towards this inevitable dead end that we're heading towards? We have to realistically make massive change, and that is what we're trying to do here. That is what we are doing here. So be a part of it. Join this revolution, and it should be crystal clear that every bit of the democratic establishment, the mainstream media, all of the powers that be are fighting with all they can to stop this revolution. So this is the movement. This is the fight, and our time is now. So be a part of it. Join in. Jack says, get money from Bloomberg to caucus for Bernie. Ginger idea. Yeah, Bloomberg's paying $2,500 a month just to talk positively about him on social media. And he's paying people to canvass. And he's paying people to even show up at his rallies. He's throwing a lot of money away. He's throwing tons of money at this. Hey, Steve. Steve's here? I haven't seen Steve. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Carol says, I want to see more focus on the seniors. There is a reason why Biden is second. Older peeps have Medicare and all, but they still vote, and I think we need to come to them more. That's a good point. And that would also be a great way to spread awareness about Medicare itself, which is an incredibly popular program, but a selling point to seniors would be that Bernie's Medicare for All would include dental and vision, which it doesn't currently. So it would be a better system that would include more people. And we're going to do away with these prescription copays and the greed in the pharmaceutical industry. So there are a lot of reasons for seniors to support this revolution. And you're right. We need to be reaching out to every demographic, and that's definitely one we don't want to leave behind. Nissa says, I just cleaned. Right on. Your cats are messy. Cats can be. Dogs get a bad rap, but cats can be just as bad, if not worse. Let's see. What I'm going to do really quick is there's a couple things I want to do is to show you, and that's in the media. So let me switch here. This is something I've been running into a lot today. There are a lot of Trump supporters actually attacking me with this. Bernie said that it's unfair to simply say everything is bad with Fidel Castro's Cuba. Okay, so let's look at this. Says Senator Bernie Sanders offered a partial defense of Fidel Castro's Cuban Revolution, asserting that it's unfair to simply say everything is bad with the way the late despot ruled the country. We're very opposed to the authoritarian nature of Cuba, but it's unfair to simply say everything is bad. Sanders said on CBS 60 Minutes in an interview that aired Sunday. When Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing? Even though Fidel Castro did it? Okay, see what they've done is they've taken this soundbite, which is clearly not Sanders endorsing Fidel Castro 100%. He's saying that he did positive things for the people. That's what he's saying. But I have been getting hit with this left and right because if you defend anything that Cuba or Fidel Castro might have done in Cuba, you accept all of it. So they're going to slander Bernie to death with this. So we're going to need to really inform ourselves on this and just be aware of it. I don't think what he said is bad, though, because a literacy program is a good thing. And I would really have to look into it more, but from what I understand, Cuba's situation has a whole lot to do with our intervention and our trade restrictions and things like that we've done to them. Like Venezuela, as far as I know, I couldn't defend either way on Fidel Castro, but I'm sure that everything he did wasn't bad, and this is taken out of context. Now I'm going to have to actually watch 60 Minutes, which kind of pisses me off. Ginger says expanded Medicare to cover dental, ears, and eyes. That's great reasons why the senior citizen, everybody should support this. But do you think this is something that we're going to have trouble with? From this interview on 60 Minutes that Bernie said Fidel Castro didn't do all bad things, that he, did good for literacy and education. Because that's the point he was trying to make. That he did a lot of good for education and healthcare for the Cuban people. But here's the other hit piece I wanted to look at really quick in Know Your Enemy. This is how to stop Bernie Sanders from being the Democratic nominee. They're right out in the open with it. All right? And in this little hit piece, this guy's really arrogant on Palmer Report. I don't know if you've ever read it before, but says if Bernie Sanders is the Democratic nominee, he'll lose to Trump, which is an outright lie. It starts right off with a lie. He says it's not happening on his watch. We'll keep Bernie under 50% of the delegates, and that's exactly what they intend to do. They intend to try everything they can to make sure that Bernie doesn't get 50% of the delegates. They know he's going to win most of these states. But if they can keep him from getting 50% of the delegates, they can keep him from clinching the nomination, and they can go to a brokered convention. And he says then they'll pick an actual Democrat as the nominee. Basically Bloomberg, probably a Bloomberg Buttigieg super ticket, or Bloomberg Warren, or Bloomberg Klobuchar. One of them shills is going to be paired with Bloomberg, and they're going to try to sell it off. And it says Bernie will whine like a baby, and some of his supporters will go completely berserk. We will lose our literal shit. And it will not go down like it did in 2016. That's not the way it's going to happen. But he says, so we'll just have to work that much harder to beat Trump in November. They think they can screw over more than half of their base again and win an election. They really believe that. You believe that? I don't. I think they would rather implode than let Bernie win. But in this report, in Palmer report here, it says, to be clear, what I'm talking about is simply how the rules work. Bernie signed off on the 2020 convention rules because he assumed he'd be in second place. And he wanted an opportunity to steal the nomination. So we'll simply follow the rules. Once the delegates are released at the convention and we enter a broker convention, the released delegates should line up behind whichever actual Democrat has the most delegates. Bernie simply does not have broad enough support to win over a majority of delegates at the convention. If Bernie does rack up greater than 50% of delegates before the convention, then he will be the nominee. There will be no way around that. So what does that mean? That means we need 50%. And we'll have to get behind him even though he'll almost certainly lose to Trump. The key is to make sure Bernie doesn't get anywhere near 50% of the delegates in the upcoming states. We don't need to unite behind one candidate even. For now, what matters is convincing as many people as possible in upcoming states to vote for any of the actual Democrats. Just pull enough delegates away from Bernie as possible. And then they call him a Putin-assisted 80-year-old socialist. That's the kind of hit pieces that we're going to come across and deal with. And this socialism stuff, like I had people like just with the same thing with the fight, backing off the fight talk. People have told me that Bernie needs to back off socialism. Full embrace, because you need to teach these people. They're being lied to and misdirected with a scare term. But since we looked at two hit pieces, I want to show you the Bern notice. This is the official newsletter of the Bernie Sanders campaign, and a great way to follow this revolution and stay up on all of the important things in the platform and talking points and all of that. This article is about how the new polling shows Bernie surging in battleground states. Bernie is the strongest candidate against Trump in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Bernie is the strongest candidate against Trump in Virginia. Strongest against Trump in Texas. Bernie surging ahead of Bloomberg in New York even. Hasn't Bloomberg paid off all the New Yorkers by now? And then 4 data points showing Bernie is Democrats' unity candidate. These are just some of the articles that you'll get from the Bern notice, but I wanted to show you just an example. These are the 4. Here are 5 sets of data points in illustrating the breadth of the 2020 coalition. Bernie won across the board in Nevada. In Nevada, a majority-minority state, entrance polls show that Bernie won men and women, white voters and non-white voters, 65 and younger, voters with and without a college degree, voters from union and non-union households. His support was also across the ideological spectrum. Entrance polls shows that he won self-described liberals and self-described moderates and conservatives. Carol says Bernie is on CNN tonight with Chris Cuomo after this. What time? 8? Bernie is surging among voters of color. Bernie's Medicare for All initiative has big support. 6 in 10 Nevada caucus goers report in exit polls that they support eliminating private insurance and creating a single-payer system. Same result in both New Hampshire and Iowa. Bernie is particularly strong among swing voters. See, I knew that was a misprint when it said 5 sets. It's 4. But that's the Bern notice. Follow the Bern notice if you want to stay up to date on the revolution and everything going on with the campaign. Or text Bernie. Text the word Bernie to 67760. And that will enroll you in the official texting service of the campaign. And I do the texting, so maybe you'll get a text message from me. But volunteers send out texts when stuff is relevant in your area and important to you to know, and there's rallies or things coming up or voting information even. We share that all through text. So text Bernie to 67760 and you'll get in touch with that. Or follow this show every day, and we get into Bernie events. There's been a batch of rallies announced in Myrtle Beach, Spartanburg, and Columbia, South Carolina on February 26th through the 28th. So the itinerary is Wednesday the 26th. he'll be in Charleston at a rally, and then that's at 11:30 a.m. And then at 3 o'clock p.m., another rally in Myrtle Beach, same day. And then Thursday, he's got a rally in Spartansburg at 7:30 p.m. And then Friday, a rally in Columbia at 3:30 p.m. So doing a bunch of rallies in South Carolina, and then holding rallies in Virginia on the 27th and 29th. So the itinerary for those is on February 27th in Richmond, there'll be a rally. Then Saturday at 4 p.m., another rally in Northern Virginia. And 8 p.m., Virginia Beach, Norfolk rally. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up with the campaign. And he's visiting North Carolina even. So what are we up to, like 9 rallies coming up in the next about 5 days? The Bernie campaign is working their butt off. We really couldn't ask for more out of the campaign. I'm very happy with that Bernie has done. I feel like Bernie has done all he can for us. This is ours now. I feel like, hey Lindsay, I feel like we own this. We have to take full responsibility of this. Hey Kilo, good to see you. We have to take full responsibility of this situation. Full ownership. And then move forward and keep moving forward. And don't let anything break us. Carol says 8 Central, Bernie on CNN. So check that out. Marie says get the Bern app. Bern app. Get the Bern app. That's great. Thank you for saying that. And it's even been improved. The Bern 2.0. So it's even better now than it used to be. But you can do a lot of cool things with the app. And it counts you statistically as a supporter. So get that Bern app. You can get that anywhere you get a phone app. So get that. Jack says, so watching the RT News this morning and they showed Trump congrats to Bernie and said he was looking forward to seeing who wins. Just wondering how he knows already. Well, he knows that Bernie has massive support, and he knows he doesn't want to run against Bernie. He's been open about that. And the reason he doesn't want to run against Bernie is because of us. Kilo says, ironically, the Bern app just sent me a notification saying they officially won Nevada. Oh, they're finally done counting Nevada? They called it at 4% because they didn't want anybody paying attention to the actual results. I'm curious to see the final results. I would love to see these numbers that they didn't want anybody to see. They didn't want people watching that for hours either. Bernie trouncing the hell out of every establishment candidate on that stage. They didn't want that. That's why they called it at 4%. Yeah, Marie, 4%. Marie says he has his own app to both organize volunteers and track who is voting for him. Catch the cheaters. Oh yeah, we had an app for that, didn't we? The Shadow app that was used in Iowa to try and curb the win that we clearly got in Iowa. But we had an app to track their cheating. And there's still, as far as I know, legal action going on with the DNC and the lawyers for Bernie Sanders' campaign about what happened in Iowa. So I don't think that's over by a damn sight. And I also don't think the campaign's going to take rigging laying down this time. I really don't. It doesn't seem that way. And one of their biggest surrogates, Nita Turner, is very vocal that this is not going to be anything like 2016, that they ain't happening again. So I got to feel like the campaign understands the situation and the severity of it, and I don't think they're going to tolerate it. I don't think they're going to put up with it, and I also don't think the rigging's going to be enough. And I think the media is starting to realize that, especially Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews may have a full meltdown on air any day now. It's bound to happen. But I think that's funny too. I really do. Because The reason why it's funny to me is it's got to be hard to be a propaganda master and realize that you're failing and have to go on every night and keep trying. And he's starting to crack. It's just hilarious. Oh, yeah, I love seeing the establishment squirm. That's really neat. That's fun. That's a lot of the fun of this, is watching them squirm and watching them try with all their might to fight us, to stop us, to put a stop to us. But it's not enough. It's not going to be enough. And that's what's beautiful. That's what will be remembered historically. It's a damn shame that it won't be reported on as it's happening, but it will be remembered historically. This is going to be remembered as the time that we took charge and made real change happen in our society and brought justice and compassion to society. Historically, it's going to be seen as when we changed the course and started moving this in a positive direction. This is going to be remembered as the most important moment in American history. What we're doing right now is huge. These people have bought off our government. They have it in their back pocket, and they think that that's okay. They think that they should get to have it in their back pocket. They think they should have full control over us, and that only their interests should matter. And they also don't think they should pay a damn thing into society. Well, all of that needs to stop, and all of that's going to stop. Marie says, yes, there is. Only a few publications called it as it is. Bernie is the only candidate in U.S. history either path to win all three first states because he did win Iowa. Oh, he clearly won Iowa by 6,000 votes. Marie says it is hilarious, Chris Matthews. I posted Fox declares Bernie winner of Nevada as Matthews implodes his career. That's very clever. That's exactly what's happening. He's losing his marbles. He will have a meltdown live on the air. I'm thinking of starting to watch his show just for it, the meltdown that's coming. I think it will be spectacular. But I love watching them squirm. I love watching them realize that it's not enough. Everything is just failing. It's not working. And even though it makes me sick to watch somebody try and buy the election, I love watching Mike Bloomberg waste a ton of money trying to stop us. And it's kind of impressive that with all of his money and even buying supporters, he can't really compete with us. That's really kind of funny and actually sad at the same time. But what do you guys think? What do you guys want to talk about? What's important to you? What's going on with you right now in the revolution? I want to hear from you. So this is an audience-driven participation show. We got a good group here. I want to hear what's going on with you. What do you think's important? What did I not talk about in tonight's burn that you think I should have hit on? I'm kind of curious what word YouTube blocked that comment for, Kilo. I guess you either can't say Trump or you can't say turds. Because he said the Trump turds are sweating it too. Oh, they're getting crazy. I'm getting so much attacks from Trump supporters. That's why I covered the Cuba thing. They love that. Oh, they love that. So that's going to be big for them. But the only upside of the amount of attacks that are going to come from the right is that they're awful at it. And they only halfway research anything and just put out sound bites. And a lot of times it's not even accurate. Like I saw one that said Bernie got kicked out of a commune for being lazy. It was on a meme I saw. Kilo said, if Bloomberg cares so much, why didn't he run as a Republican against Trump? Because Bloomberg doesn't care about anything except stopping Bernie. They don't want to pay into society. Bloomberg got, Jack's told me, and I didn't research it, so if I'm wrong, blame it on Jack, But Jack told me $2 billion he got back in taxes. If he got $5 back, if he paid nothing at all, no refund, that's disgusting enough. But to get $2 billion back in a refund? Marie says none of these shows are accurate. On the mainstream media? No, it's all hot garbage. The mainstream media is weaponized propaganda. That's its entire purpose. That's all it's for. Ginger says Iowa Bernie is only down in .08 of a delegate after the partial recount. Bernie called for a total recount, I think, now. Kyle, hey, Kyle. Kyle says Trump supporters are becoming burners. A lot of Trump supporters are, but there are a lot of them that are getting angry because they see that we're winning. They don't want to fight against us. And a lot of them, I shouldn't generalize like this, but a lot of them seem to be the types that are very concerned about certain people getting things that they don't think they deserve. You know, that's a lot of what's holding back people from a lot of these bigger ideas, like Medicare for all and like a living wage. They feel certain people are lesser than, and they don't deserve these things. You know what I mean? They'd rather keep it from everybody to make sure that somebody they don't think is worthy doesn't get it. Nissa says they're going back to the 70s on Bernie's life. Oh my God. Yeah, well, he was never in this commune to begin with, but it's a myth going around the Trump community that Bernie was kicked out of a commune for being lazy. Marie says Warren would have been a good VP until she flipped on everything and stabbed Bernie in the back. I was hopeful for a Bernie Liz ticket. I didn't have much faith in Warren ever since 2016. There were a couple of things in 2016. One, her stabbing Bernie in the back, which I feel like she did quite well in 2016, and not supporting him or acknowledging that the primary was even rigged until it was way too late. So there was all of that, and then her lack of support for Standing Rock, especially with her Native American background. I thought that was really odd that she didn't stand up for the Native Americans at Standing Rock and the water. You know, we all drink water. So I could see that she didn't care about what she is supposed to care about, and even issues that had to do with her own people, and was allowing all that and not speaking up against it. So I've kind of thought that Elizabeth Warren has no backbone for a while. Nissa says, I can't say that, Nissa, I'll get banned. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't get banned, but I would get in trouble. I think that's why my videos don't get monetized on YouTube. They're all rejected for monetization because I'm pretty sure I accidentally cuss in every video, no matter how hard I try not to. If Liz is here, I do try. Sometimes I try less, if I'm real upset or trying to be sensational a little bit. But most of the time, especially on Daily Bern, I try really hard not to. Marie says, me too, but I thought she would make up for that this time. I totally agree. Oh, she showed her true colors is what she did. She's doubling and tripling down. She is spineless and will do anything she thinks might advance her career. And she wants to do that the establishment route. She didn't intend to advance her career by joining forces with Bernie Sanders. She doesn't want to go against or bite the hand that feeds her. Shannon says there is so much propaganda in the mainstream media that it makes me want to puke. I'm thinking Liz is swinging at Bloomberg for being on the ticket with Bernie. Nissa says so many people just suck or don't care. That is a huge problem. There is a lot of people that just can't be bothered. Again, in the mainstream media, that's sad. Liz is swinging at Bloomberg for being on the ticket with Bernie. Sorry, guys. That is very sad to me that some people are so hateful and so resentful of other people that they would want to keep stuff from people they deem unworthy just because They don't think that they're in the same class and they don't deserve what they've earned, they think. Not realizing that they are one or two paychecks away from being homeless, being completely devastated, or if they were to get sick, God forbid, they could lose everything very quickly. They don't realize that. They take that for granted. But they'd rather keep people from having things and make sure that certain people don't have certain things that they don't feel they're worthy of. And this is right. There are welfare queens. There are bad people that take advantage of the situation, take advantage of the system. That's reality. But I'm not going to focus so hard on stopping those people that I stop everybody from having something good. I'm not going to go, well, we can't pay people a living wage because I believe this job is below me, below my standard. You have a skilled job. If I happen to work in something that's looked down upon as a profession. I work in the restaurant industry. And hey, Cindy, I am in a looked down upon profession. But if I make $15 an hour and you're a welder and you're a skilled position, don't you have to make more than that? You know, we're not taking from you, we're taking from those above. There's greed crippling society. Over the last 20 years, someone better at statistics could show you a little more accurately, but everything has gone up while wages have stayed the same. You can't. Nissa says many rely on mommy and daddy. There are many people that do. Again, there are bad people that take advantage. But a lot of people end up back with their parents because of the ridiculousness going on in the housing industry, in the housing market, whether it's especially in rental. So we have a lot of answers for that, which is fortunate in the housing reform that Bernie is bringing to the table. Jack says Trump just bought a bunch of corporate farmers' votes with the 22 billion. Oh, yeah. Cindy says I had to work yesterday, so I couldn't go to Bernie's Houston rally. Several of my friends were there. Very good rally. Very big turnout. A lot of these rallies. Things are going fantastically well in this revolution, and I'm excited. I think it's very exciting what's happening. But, I'm hearing a lot of people say things like, it's going to be Bloomberg. I'm getting that from a lot of people. And I don't know why. Why do they think that? Is the media that powerful? Look, think of that. Think about that for a second. There's no reason why Bloomberg should have any support. Why is the media selling him as if he should? But that's it. If you give him a quick Google search, you will find out that he's unelectable. That he's all of the worst things that you imagine about Donald Trump in your Trump derangement syndrome, you will find with Michael Bloomberg. And he seems to be a horrible man. Former employees of him even wrote a book with quotes of his. But the media is selling him because he's paying them. They want that ad money. They want that Bloomberg money. He's throwing money at everybody to try and sell himself as electable. But it's to be getting into the public perception and to be hearing that from people that, no, man, it's going to be Bloomberg. Like, why? Why do you think that? Because the TV box told you that? When have you seen any support for Mike Bloomberg? Nissa says Texas is on fire, right? A lot of these states are on fire. Kilo says Warren is just a player in the game. She is. She's an establishment shill and a sellout. Cindy says, I saw someone calling him Doomberg. I thought that fits him. I like that. Mike Doomberg. That fits him. It does. Because he is just the opposite of what we need. He's the opposite of progress. We are not trying to go backwards. We're moving forwards. Only forwards. You can't keep doing the same thing. To elect any of these establishment shills, but the worst of all is Bloomberg, but any of them is insanity. It's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing expecting different results. That's insanity. Can't do that. We need massive change. Real change. And the only person up there that will stand for that change and can make this happen and push this forward is Bernie Sanders. So we are fully behind Bernie Sanders and this political revolution. But we understand that we are the ones that have to do this. We have to make all this change happen. But that's what we do, and that's what we're doing. So this is exciting. I'm excited to be a part of it, and I'm sure you guys are too, and do everything you can. Just keep doing all you can every day, no matter what that is. Maybe you can't volunteer. Maybe you don't have time. And you can't donate. It's very hard. I understand. You can do something. So figure out what your talent is. Maybe you talk to people. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe you inspire people. Put 2 or 3 bumper stickers on your car. Wear your Bernie swag out in public. Talk to people. Start conversations. Create opportunities. Find something you can do. There's something you can do. And do that every day. No matter what. Whether you feel like it or not. Keep doing it every day. Keep moving forward. Next thing you know, we're going to make massive change a reality. We can do this. We are doing this. So do all you can. Be in this fight 100%. But know that it is a fight. Bringing this full circle to the beginning, I've been told over and over again, shy away from that. Stop calling it a fight. I've been told to stop calling it the war room. That this isn't a war, blah, blah, blah. This is a political revolution. This is what peaceful revolution looks like. And if peaceful revolution is made impossible, violent revolution will become inevitable. We must make this happen. This must happen. And that's why it will. Because millions of people understand that it must. That's exactly why it's going to. Steve says, what's with Biden saying he got arrested in South Africa while going to meet Mandela? Right? And he right away got exposed. They act like this, you can't find things out. They act like you can say whatever you want. But with Biden, someone needs to let Grandpa go take a nap. They need to let him go ahead and drop out. I don't even think he knows what he's doing at this point. I don't think he knows where he is. I worry about him. I worry a lot about Joe Biden. It ain't even funny no more. It really isn't. And it's damn sad that they thought they could sell him as a front runner. That shows you how much they don't care about winning. They only care about stopping Bernie Sanders. Cindy says a more serious and intelligent version of Trump. No way. Exactly. He's all the worst things you could possibly imagine or that you possibly are afraid of if you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. All of the worst things about Trump all manifest themselves twofold in Mike Bloomberg. He is the worst person possible for this job. He's worse than Trump. Matter of fact, if you were to put Mike Bloomberg on the ticket, if I didn't already intend to write Bernie Sanders in, no matter what in the hell you do, I would vote for Trump over Mike Bloomberg. Kilo says, Lil JFK, Pete Buttigieg. He's an enemy. He is a snake in the grass, and he was making me really mad at the debates. He upsets me. He is somebody we need to watch. We don't need to get comfortable about Pete Buttigieg. We need to be aware of him and be aware of the danger he poses. He is a master at propaganda. From his intelligence background and his work with McKinsey and Company. And his job, I really think his role is to disinform people about Medicare for all, to fool people into voting against their own best interest, to convince them that Medicare for all cannot be done and is not possible. Pete Buttigieg is there to muddy the waters on Medicare for all and pull enough delegates to keep Bernie from 50%. It's what the rest of them are up there for. That's why they're not going to drop out. That's why they'll stay in for as long as they possibly can. They got to pull enough delegates. Steve, Corn Pop was the baddest of dudes. Corn Pop was the baddest of dudes. And, no, Joe Biden's sad at this point. It's sad. It really is. And they just need to let him drop out. And he can call up Corn Pop and they can talk about chain fights out in the street from back in the day when he used to get his legs rubbed at his lifeguard job, because he just needs to go lay down. Someone needs to let Grandpa take a break. Carol says Pete is a puppet for the wine sellers. Pete is a snake. Pete is a viper, and he is very good at saying a lot, really pretty, but actually saying absolutely nothing, and convincing people of this propaganda, this dangerous. We need to be informing and spreading the truth, making people aware of the truth, and that this stuff is real and possible and makes sense. You know, because on that same 60 Minutes interview, they tried to hang Bernie out to dry on how you pay for Medicare for all. It is worked out. It's not all in the man's mind. Like, and I'm awful with math. I couldn't rattle it off for you, but I can pull up the webpage and show you how it's explained. You know, that's why you have a staff of people, Anderson Cooper. You have a staff of writers. You don't remember everything. You don't know every detail. You have a whole lot of people that fill your teleprompter with exactly what to say. So Bernie didn't have every figure ready in his mind. That doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense. Matter of fact, the Koch brothers were nice enough to do a very nice research study, and they found out that it makes more sense financially to go with a Medicare for all system. Jack says Pete is a CIA boy and Hillary's biatch. Pete is the establishment queen, only because he's there to distract us on Medicare for all. Not us, but the regular people. They need to get enough of the regular people, those that watch that little flickering box in their living room and take it as truth and give it power. They need to get enough of them to believe in this garbage, that you won't be able to choose your own doctor and that you won't get quality medical coverage and you're losing the freedom of choice. Blah, 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 blah. That's what they need, is enough people to go, oh, I'm afraid of it. But if we get enough people to realize that this is possible and this can happen, then it will happen. And we have the momentum to make this happen. So we just need to keep moving forward. Yeah, Jack. Hillary is behind Pete, for sure. And everybody that was on Team Hillary was involved in that damn shadow app. If they weren't involved with the shadow app itself, they were involved with its parent company, acronym. So the entire Democratic establishment is fighting Bernie Sanders. Look anywhere you need to, and you'll see that. The entire media is fighting Bernie Sanders. Look anywhere you need to on any channel, and you'll see that. That is who they're trying to stop. And why are they trying to stop him? Is it because they're afraid of a 78-year-old man? Terrified of a 78-year-old man? Or is it because that he's inspired millions of people and they realize that we'll stay active and vigilant and they won't be able to keep doing what they've been doing? The enrichment party stops. The money stops floating into the pockets. All of this greed comes to an end. This is the worst possible thing that can happen to them. They don't want this. They'll do everything they can to fight back against this. We got to make sure that it doesn't matter what they do. We got to make sure that we overwhelm them to a point where they cannot stop us. We have to get more than 50%. And if we allow Bernie to go into a convention at under 50%, then Milwaukee better be a sea of people in yellow vests, dedicated to seeing this through. We better not let him walk into that convention with less than 50% of the delegates. And if we do, then we need to understand that direct action is necessary. If we get in that situation, we have to be there. So we need to do whatever we got to do to make sure that we don't end up in that situation, because that would be horrible. But I hope that we understand that it could get to that and are prepared for that and start getting ready that we may have to actually be there. You know, if we come into the convention with less than 50%, we're going to, like I said, need it to be a sea of people. We have to make it a sea of people. We have to overwhelm them. We cannot let them rig this nomination. We have to make sure that they don't succeed. It is our job. It is our responsibility. And we have to be the ones that take charge and hold them accountable. We can't wait for Bernie to do everything. Bernie can't do this for us. We have to do this. And when millions of us understand that that is the reality of the situation and that we have to be the ones that make this happen, once we get to a point where enough of us get that and are doing the work, as long as we keep moving forward, can't be stopped. There's nothing they can do to stop us. Like I said before in the Bern, only we can even stop us at this point. We would have to quit. We would have to back down, sit down. But we're not going to. That's not going to happen. We understand that this is our time and that we cannot wait for a better opportunity. No better opportunity is coming along. There's not going to be another chance at this. We have to do this now. This happens now. Cindy says, should we start saving bail money now? Yeah. You need to start getting ready. Steve says, if we don't change, we are doomed. We cannot. Sanders Town Hall is starting. Okay. We cannot continue down this path. We have to make this change happen. Carol says, we the people want real change, and Bernie is the man truly doing this and has been forever. This is the fight. This is the one to be in. If you've been waiting for the right opportunity to get involved and move this country towards real change, the time is now. This is the movement, and we are going to win. They're going to do all they can to try and make it seem like it's impossible, but it's not going to be enough. And we are going to overwhelm them, overpower them, and take down their greed-driven system. But this is the Daily Bern, and we gather here every day at 7, and we talk about this fight, and we talk about this revolution. But we talk like winners, and we own this situation, and we realize that it must be us that moves this forward. It must be us that makes this happen. and we are going to make this happen. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching the show today. If you're here on Facebook, join the page. If you're here on YouTube, remember to subscribe and like this video. Click the like button. That helps us do better and get out to more people, and more people will see the video, and it's just a great way to show that you appreciated it. So Marie says, get your yellow vest ready. You're damn right. This is burning your vest. That's the reality of the situation. People don't want to see that, but that is the reality of it. We need to understand that this has to happen. We don't need everybody to understand that, but we need enough people to understand it, enough to move it forward and make it happen. You know, what do they say? 3%? You need 3% to have a successful revolution? That's all you need, 3%. Cindy says, I honestly would have to choose between keeping my apartment or traveling to the convention. Well, you know what I mean? We can't all be there, I understand. But we're going to have a sea of people, millions of people in Milwaukee. A massive turnout. We can't try to coast into this. We got to tear this down and overwhelm it by force. But thanks for watching. I'm not going to compete with Bernie. Bernie's on TV, so I'm going to let you guys watch Bernie. And we will hang out tomorrow for the next episode of the Daily Bern. We do this every day at 7. So come back tomorrow. Hang out with us again, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching today. And if you shared, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Keep fighting out there. Keep doing all you can. And we're going to win this. Not Bernie. Us. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.